Students, the fourth model is by Michael Polanyi, and his work contributed significantly to our understanding of written communication. He said that a person needs to be actively engaged in the process of knowing. And he also said that we know more than we can say, and that we often say more than we realize. For example, what does this model say? Okay, students, this model is simple. Let me give you an example. I went to the beach and I watched a beautiful sunset. And I would like to share my experience watching the sunsets with the reader through written communication. So I wrote a poem. Okay? In the poem, I convey the meaning that I had gained watching the sunset. Someone else reads the poem, okay, and derives meaning from the poem. Okay? So that means the reader may not have shared the experience, but the reader derives the meaning from the poem. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So in other words, a text cannot convey an experience, but only meanings. So that is what the model is trying to say. A person perceives meaning in an experience or context. So you can only read the meanings of my experience through the poem. Model again. So, a person perceives meaning in an experience or context. I experience the meaning watching the sunset. And then the person writes a text. I wrote the poem. Then the text is read and you will read my poem. And you will find the meaning of the poem. That means you will understand the poem that I am watching the sunset. Students, this model is simple. As you can see in this diagram, there's a man sitting by the beach. Let me give you an example of this man. For example, he is sitting by the beach watching a beautiful sunrise. Okay? So that indicates a person perceives meaning in an experience or context. Yeah? And then he decides to write a text to convey that meaning. So he decides to write a poem to share his experience watching the beautiful sunrise to the readers. So when he has completed the poem and has been published, then the text is read in another context and the reader finds meaning in it. So what C is trying to say is, when you read the text, you will somehow or other share the meaning of the experience felt by the writer. And you are able to visualize the beautiful sunrise through the experience written by the writer. So in another way, the text or the poem does not convey the original experience to the reader, but it conveys meaning to the reader. So ladies and gentlemen, this text or the poem is called literature. Yeah? So Polanyi has come up with a model to highlight the importance of interpretation in written communication. So students, for further understanding about the 4 theories that you have learned just now, kindly go to this website. Okay. The next point is regarding signs, symbols, and abbreviations. Why are they important in written communication? These signs, symbols, and abbreviations, they are important in written communication is because they are both primitive precursors of the written language as well as important modern supplements to it. Now, for example, let's look at this sign. What does it mean? It means no parking near the housing area. Therefore, students, it is very important to choose correct sign to use for the right occasion. For example, this sign tells you thousands of words. For example, no parking next to the house. What if next to the house there's a swimming pool? What if next to the house there's a big gymnasium? So you must be very careful if you want to choose the correct sign. And you must be very careful if you want to put a sign for other people to understand. When we use signs to refer to complex things, then we call them symbols. For example, let's look at this symbol. This is more complex than this, right? This is clearly stating that this is no parking. But what does it mean? What is this? What symbol is this? You know, all I can tell is this is like paddy. Okay? Alright? So, in some cases, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a symbol may have more than one meaning. This is just one meaning. Sign, no parking. But a symbol has more than one meaning, which some of them can be culture bound. Alright? So take this picture of a rice stalk. This is a symbol of a rice stalk. Yeah? In countries like Japan and Malaysia, yeah, this denotes fruitfulness and abundance and sometimes even fertility. Okay? So remember, signs are much more easier to understand than symbol. A symbol is much more complex and it can be culture bound as well. Next, how about this? What symbol is this? Okay, as we can see sometimes in our emails, yeah, or our SMS in our handphones, what symbols are those? So if you can see the symbol over there, it's happy. Yeah, it has a sign there. And happy or do not take me too seriously. Yeah, if you happen to see that kind of symbol, it's being cheeky or showing disbelief. Or if you have this kind of symbol, it means sad or disappointed. Okay, so we have learned what are signs and what are symbols. So now we go to what are abbreviations. I'm sure you have heard the word abbreviations before. Okay. So let's look at this one. So abbreviations consist of certain letters to represent the whole word. And you have to be familiarized with these abbreviations through experience in reading. Remember, reading extensively will help to, these abbreviations, yeah, will help you to improve your readings. Okay. Emails also use abbreviations, okay, which have taken unusual meanings in written communication. So somehow or other, with extensive reading, you will definitely come out with these abbreviations on your own sooner or later. For example, that G here means green. Okay, BTW, by the way. By the way, what does ASAP means? ASAP, what does it mean? It means as soon as possible. You know, sometimes when you want to type or you want to send SMS to your friends, ASAP, please meet me ASAP. So it means please meet me as soon as possible. So those are called abbreviations. IMHO, in my humble, honest opinion, RTM is not Radio TV Malaysia, but RTM is read the manual. Okay? And LOL, laugh out loud. This I found mostly in Facebook, where they respond to the comments made by their friends. So LOL means laugh out loud. I mean, it means that the comment is very funny. RSN, real soon now. ROTFL, I'm rolling on the floor laughing. I mean, that means this is like laughing at what you wrote. Okay? And the rest, TIFA, thanks in advance, and ta-ta for now. Ta-ta for now, TTFN. Okay, so you can roughly use this, yeah, in the internet, in your emails, or in your SMS, when you SMS to your friends.